So from our sessions, may I request Fatima as a chair of the session, Fatima Halima, would you please start the session, Fatima Appa?
Yes, thank you, Alokda. Thank you very much. First, I would like to welcome you in the session, Community-Based Monitoring and for Behavior Change in Climate Vulnerable Area. The session jointly facilitated by SIMABI and Uttaron. You know, SIMABI is Netherlands-based NGO established in 1925 and implementing activities through partner NGO in 10 countries. Uttaran is long-term partner of SIMAVI and implementing WASH SDG and Water Justice Fund program. Uttaran is right-based NGO working to establish rights of the poor and marginalized communities of Bangladesh. The WASH SDG and Water Justice Fund, both programs are working in most climate vulnerable area. This program adopted locally led approach for program implementation. It is known to all that the climate project has consequences of the WASH service delivery. Due to climate changes, waterlogging, salinity, and frequent cyclone is common phenomena in Satkhira region of Bangladesh. We need to do beyond business as usual for sustainability of the service delivery. The WASH and Water Justice Fund program believes that climate justice is water justice. From the starting of the implementation, local government institutions were actively involved in implementation of the program. The community-based monitoring evolved through community participation. The community-based monitoring is playing crucial role for locally led monitoring and planning for climate adaptation and WASH nexus. Now I would like to introduce myself. I am Fatima Halima Ahmed. I am working as Coordinator Resource Management, Communication and Partnership of Uttaran, and we are the partner of SIMAVI for a long time. I am delighted that today the session will be presented by Mr. Alok Kumar Majumdar, Country Coordinator of SIMAVI. Mr. Alok had over 37 years of experience to implement development projects in Asia and Africa. Hasina Parvin, coordinator of Uttaran, has over 29 years of experience in implementation of development projects. She has actively involved in implementation of community-based monitoring. So now I am requesting Mr. Alok Kumar Majumdar and Hasina Parvin to share their presentation, and hopefully we all will enjoy their presentation. So over to Alokda.
Thank you very much, Fatima Appa, for your introductions. And as you know that SIMABI and Uttaran is a close partner working in Satkhira region. It's a highly climate vulnerable area, and our focus is WASH. So climate and WASH nexus is our prime project area, prime program area. So here I saw that many participants is from Bangladesh as well. So if anybody asks two questions in Bangla afterwards, after my presentation, that is also we can respond to your questions if you want to ask in Bangla. But both language is welcome. As you know, the community-based monitoring in vulnerable area is a key issue that SIMABI and Uttaran is implementing. So I welcome you all to these presentations. If you see the content of the presentations today, will be focusing on the impact of climate change and WASH, the concept of community-based monitoring, and why we are really conducting this community-based monitoring. That also will be discussed today's session, and how the community-based monitoring approaches, how we are implementing these community-based sessions, and also we'll be providing some methodology of providing community-based monitoring, so that others you can learn, and you can also replicate this in your project program area if you want. And also, at the end we'll have a video presentation on the community-based monitoring process, so that you can also see how community mothers are engaged in community-based monitoring sessions. So let's see about the impact of climate on WASH. I think this is understandable, and many participants always they know perhaps this climate indicators, that due to climate change, rise of temperatures, increase the sea level, more unpredictable precipitation, unpredictable weather. So these are the major indicators of climate change, and which really has an impacted on our wash area, that is increase of water demands once temperatures rise, and also drought occurred due to increase of sea level and unpredictable weather. We have a flood, and also the water logging in Satkhira area. Most of the time in Satkhira area became underwater, inundated by water. So as a result of that, there's a consequence of climate change on the water and sanitation services. One of the major consequences that the groundwater is stressed, and groundwater being polluted due to over extracting of groundwater. So that's one of the consequences we feel, and also uh, the salinity increase. It's very known to all that salinity in coastal belt really increasing, and it really problems in our working area. And water sources are contaminated due to pollutions. And also the arsenic contaminations is day by day growing. And due to this climate hazard, cyclone, flood, so mostly we saw that the damages of water services and also water sanitation services are damaged. As a result of that, ultimate consequence is that the scarcity of safe water and sanitation is an issue in our working area. So we thought in this consequences, we thought it's very good to involve the community people to see the progresses to the situation, and to involve them in the monitoring process. That's why we introduced this kind of community-based monitoring. And what do we mean by the community-based monitoring? Community-based monitoring is a process by which we can involve the community people, especially the mother group, so that they can identify their own behaviors, they can assess their own behavior related to wash and climate changes. And it also helps a local level planning and monitoring through this community-based monitoring. So these are the definitions we use as we are working for climate and wash nexus. So our main focus is relation to locally led adaptation in relation to climate and wash. Why we do this community-based monitoring? Why do this involve the community in case of monitoring? Perhaps you will also agree with me that wash behavior and climate change behavior, I think this kind of behavior change is difficult to monitor by asking questions. For example, in the National Hygiene Survey, it says that 84% household have hand washing facilities. But while spot checking, it's only 55% they are using, and also 39% mother really demonstrate they're washing their hands. Means there's a difference between the reported behavior change and actual behavior change. So therefore, this kind of community-based monitoring really helps to identify the actual situation of the community and demand of the community. That's why we introduce this kind of approaches. And one of the advantages of this community-based monitoring is that the neighbor can follow their behavioral change and also can help each other. So this is one of the beautiful beauty of the community-based monitoring. And community-based monitoring can build up linkage with the service providers, because of in this session, the government service provider, local government institution, they are also involved. And this kind of linkage building also can be established through this process. So now the question, how we are in implementing this community-based monitoring. Now I request Hasina, can you please explain how really you are implementing this community-based monitoring into the field? Over to Hasina.
Yeah, thank you, Dada. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share with us the approach of community-based monitoring. First of all, I would like to share with you the participation of local people, especially women, in these areas. We ensure their participation, women participation through this process. And another thing is we ensure that assess the community own their community, assess their own behavior change. And the community people, they assess their behavior on climate change effect, and other community people observe it properly. And if they mistake anything, then other people raise the issue and the person rearrange the update when they assess the community-based monitoring and their behavior. And in gap and identification related to the climate change and wash service, we monitoring two ways. One is wash related issue and climate change effect related issue. So when they identified the gap through this community-based monitoring, they identified the climate change and wash service related gap, and they raised their demand. As per the demand, the community people take some initiative like applying to the local government institution and local administration to receive their demand. And another thing is that local level planning and adaptation. Through this process, the community people and raise their demand to the local government, and local government takes some initiative like developing wash and reducing the climate effect activities, such as the local government and the Department of Public Health Engineering, DPIC, providing sometimes they providing deep tube wells and rainwater harvester for safe water, and elevation of raise their timber, and local government institution constructed drain to the reduce the climate change effect waterlogging situation as per the community demand. Is the local level planning and adaptation. And another thing is linkage build up, linkage with the local government institution and service provider. Through this process, the community people have a very good relationship with the service provider and local government representative. When the community people conduct the community-based monitoring, then the local government representative attend these activities and observe the actual situation. The local government representative listen to their demand and raise the demand, and linkage build up with the service provider. Due to their linkage build up and relationship, the community people easily raise their demand and easily receive the service as per the community demand. Then, Dada. And another thing is methodology of community-based monitoring. The community-based monitoring we conduct in a village where 25 to 30 people, women, and sometimes the mixed group are jointly sit together, and every 6 months we implement these activities. And the local municipality councillor and union parishad member are present there. They encourage the participant to provide their actual situation, especially wash and climate change effect related issues. And they proceed by the participant. The participants say each other, and one group leader who facilitate the this community-based monitoring activities. And after these activities, they record, take record, and they put in the Excel sheet. Yeah. This is the PANA, or we call the PANA, Community-Based Monitoring and Climate Change Effect, and we implemented in these activities in our WASH SDG Bangladesh sub-program implementation phase 2 areas. Here I mentioned you, we actually implemented in after 6 months. But I mentioned in here 2021 and July to December 2021 and July to December 2023, because 2021, where that time that area, our project areas submerged the water because heavy raining, and these areas are waterlogged, and people are suffering 6 to 7 months, and they are bound to live within the waterlogging situation. But low or less raining, July to December 2023, this area is not waterlogging. This area is waterlogging free. So here we mention 4 issues. One is water, sanitation, disaster, and gender issue. We through these 4 issues, we collect the information of the community people's behavior change. Water level, water issue, we found that during that waterlogging situation, tubewells are submerged in the water during the disaster. Is one thing. When 2021, that time, 24 households tubewell submerged in water. And 2023, there is no waterlogging, so no submerged the water tubewell. Another thing is sanitation during the disaster when waterlogging 2021. That time the latrine are submerged in the water during the disaster in 24 households out of 33. And 2023, the result is only no household are submerged the water. So it is big sense. And another thing is that the climate change effect issue is in there. When we started this project, 2019, and we mentioned in here July to December 2021 when waterlogging is available in these areas. So the community people knows what is the preparedness before the disaster and during the disaster, after disaster, and how they will take the shelter. They knows. But when we observe this one, that time maximum people knows, and they take the initiative as per their knowledge and skill and their capacity also. And gender related issues during the disaster, you know, the these areas when these areas underwater and 6 to 7 months people are vulnerable. That time it is very difficult to maintain the normal life. That time lot of different problems arise in these areas, especially different type of violence, different type of disease, etc. But in our project area, we mentioned that the men and women do family work. When we started 2021, that time only 30 people they are practicing. But after 2023, it is all people, all men and women work together, do their family work. And another thing I would like to share with you, especially when the waterlogging situation, that time their latrine is submerged underwater. But in 2021, we observed that only 18% household they elevation their latrine, but 2023, we observed that 28 household elevation of their latrine construction of in considering the disaster. It is the big scale of these activities. Thank you, Dan.
Hasina, no, just one point. You said that number 5, give an example that increased elevation of latrine means this is due to some climate impact and water logging. So the many areas became submerged and underwater, and then they don't have the access of the latrine. But due to your awareness raising, this community-based monitoring, they have identified gaps. I can see in the number 5 that at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 families latrine were submerged underwater, and in 23 we have seen that only 5 latrines are means 10 additional families have elevated their latrine. And this is being done by themselves or by the projects or by the local government people they supported to this kind of initiatives.
Okay, thank you, Dada. Thank you very much for raising this very nice question. In our project, we motivate, we award to the community people, and the community-based monitoring is a process. Through this process, the community people knows what is the benefit of using the good latrine. They knows if they use the good latrine, then financially they are benefited. They are healthier, and their family has no violence. So they understand, and it is elevation of latrine construction by their own fund, because when they understand the benefit of the good latrine, then they savings, and they day by day they savings, and after their savings, they elevation of the latrine construction by own.
Okay. So thank you very much. Now we will be seeing a short video on how this community-based monitoring actually conducted in the field. And that is basically done by the community people, and our partners facilitate the events. Let's see. Can you hear the sound?
Yes, Dada.
প্রত্যেকটা পরিবারের নিরাপদ পানি, স্বাস্থ্যসম্মত পায়খানার সঠিক ব্যবহার, পরিষ্কার পরিচ্ছন্নতা, দুর্যোগ, জেন্ডার, এই সকল বিষয়ে আমরা আমাদের অবস্থানটা তুলে ধরার জন্য এখানে মূলত বসা।
সকল কাজে নিরাপদ পানি পান করা আমরা কি সকলেই করি? হ্যাঁ, সব সময় করি না মাঝে মাঝে না কখনো?
সব সময়।
এটা কে করিছে? পানির পাত্র ঢেকে।
এখনো যারা এই নিরাপদ পানি ব্যবহার করছেন না, তারা কি পরবর্তীতে সবাই নিরাপদ পানি ব্যবহার করবেন? আপনারা যদি সবাই একমত থাকেন, সেক্ষেত্রে আপনারা হাত উঁচু করেন।
সবার কি মত আছে?
কি ল্যাট্রিন পরিষ্কার পরিচ্ছন্ন রাখেন? সাবান ও পানি ব্যবহার করেন? করি। সব সময় করি, ব্যবহার করি সব সময়। এই যে রেজাল্ট পাইলাম, এই রেজাল্টের সাথে কি আপনারা সবাই একমত? যদি একমত হন, হাত উঁচু করেন।
সবাই সকল কাজে, এই যে পানিতে যে সকল কাজে নিরাপদ পানি ব্যবহার করা, এখানে আমরা গত টার্মে দেখেছিলাম যে 8 জন পরিবার যে তারা সকল কাজে নিরাপদ পানি ব্যবহার করে না। তার ভিতরে এই পর্যন্ত আজকের এই 6 মাস পরে এসে বসে দেখতেছি যে আমাদের একজনের পরিবর্তন হচ্ছে, যে একজন এখন ওই 8 জনের ভিতর থেকে একজন। এটা কি ঠিক আছে? ঠিক আছে। আচ্ছা, ল্যাট্রিন পরিষ্কার পরিচ্ছন্ন ও সাবান ও পানি রাখা, এখানে আমাদের গত রেজাল্টে আমরা দেখছিলাম আমাদের 25টা পরিবারের ভিতরে একজন ছিল সাবান পানি বা স্যান্ডেল রাখে না। এখন এইভাবে দেখা যাচ্ছে যে একজনও নাই, মানে তারাও এটা ঠিক আছে তো? যে আমরা 1 নম্বর প্রশ্নে পাইছি কি, সকল কাজে নিরাপদ পানি ব্যবহার করা।
যাদের এখনো পরিবর্তন আসেননি, তারা হয় আমাদের কাউন্সিলরের সাথে যোগাযোগ করবেন। চাতক ভাই, আপনাকেও ধন্যবাদ।
ধন্যবাদ মহুয়া আপাকে।
So thank you very much, Darshis, and now we can invite the questions. Please, I'm going back to the chair. You can facilitate the session and question and answer session. Back to the chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Alokda. Thank you very much. Thank you, Hasina Appa, for your good presentation. Already we have observed and one documentary where we found that the community-based monitoring is very much effective and playing a significant role on the climate change and wash related activities. So now the floor is open for questions, and today our colleague Alokda and Hasinapa is with us, so they will answering your question, and you can also raise your question in Bangla as well, because Alokda mentioned that a huge number of Bangladeshi participants already participated in this session. So the floor is now open for you. Please raise your questions as well. Thank you very much.
So I'm stop sharing here now. If there are any questions, I can come back to the presentation.
I believe some of the attendees may have raised their hand for questions.
I think Fatinapa, you can ask them to raise the question. Ask the question.
Alokda, we are waiting to receive some questions from the participants. So
Perhaps someone has raised the hand, so they can ask the question directly, or they can write in the chat.
okay, so we are waiting to receive their questions. Okay.
আমার মনে হয় যে আপনারা যারা প্রশ্ন করতে চান সরাসরি প্রশ্ন করতে পারেন। I'm not sure whether everybody is unmuted or they have to unmute themselves while asking question. Probably we are not hearing someone. So the organizers, can you please also allow participant to ask the question? I saw lots of hands. Mr. Nazir, I saw here Nazir has raised his hand. Then Mominul Islam, then Javed Ahmed. Can you please raise and ask your question, please, Mr. Nazir? আপনি বাংলায় বলতে পারেন, ইংলিশে বলতে পারেন, it's up to you. I also saw Mahmuda Appa. So I first go to
ভাই আমারটা শোনা যাচ্ছে?
yes, Mahmuda, আপনি বলেন, প্রশ্ন করেন।
আমি আমার একটা প্রশ্ন হলো যে যেহেতু সাতক্ষীরায় তো অনেক লবণাক্ত আছে, টিউবওয়েলে কি সেটা কি করা হয়? এইটা আমার একটা প্রশ্ন, কারণ ওই জায়গায় তো খুব লবণাক্ত, তা ডিপ টিউবওয়েলে যে বসায় ওখানে কি লবণের মাত্রা কি সহনীয় কিনা?
Thank you very much. No.
পরিচয়টা দিয়েন।
আমার নাম মাহমুদা বেগম, সংগঠন লাভদায়ী নেবে এলটি এর নির্বাহী পরিচালক বরিশাল।
এই সাথে আরেকটি প্রশ্ন নেন, আমি হাবিবুর রহমান তালুকদার, নির্বাহী পরিচালক SEDS সোশ্যাল ইকোনমিক ডেভেলপমেন্ট সোসাইটি বরিশাল থেকে বলছি। আমি একটি বিষয় জানতে চাই যে আমাদের যে লোকাল গভর্নমেন্ট এবং ডিপিআইসি, এই যে LGRD আছে যেটা এবং ডিপিআইসি, এদের মধ্যে সমন্বয় নাই এবং এরা ওয়াশ প্রোগ্রাম কি এটা খুব একটা বোঝে না। তারা বোঝে যে ডিপ টিউবওয়েল দেওয়া, এবং যে কোনো কাজে আমরা সবসময় তাদের কাছে ডিপ টিউবওয়েলের জন্য গ্রামবাসী বা আমরা যাদের নিয়ে ভার্নারেবল পিপল যাদের নিয়ে মানে কাজ করি তারা সবসময় বলে যে আমাদের বিশুদ্ধ পানির জন্য ডিপ টিউবওয়েল দেন, এবং এইটাই তারা বোঝে। ওয়াশ প্রোগ্রাম বা অ্যাওয়ারনেস প্রোগ্রাম এইদিকে তাদের কোনো খুব একটা ইয়া নাই, এবং এটা তারা বুঝতেও চায় না। এই জন্য আমি লোকাল গভর্নমেন্ট এবং আমাদের ডিপিআইসি এটার মধ্যে একটা সমন্বয় সাধন করা যায় কিভাবে, যে আসলে ওয়াশ প্রোগ্রাম আমাদের জীবনে খুব দরকার।
Okay, thank you very much. I just responded with permission of the chair. I just responded these questions to two questions. একটা মাহমুদ আবু যেটা বলেছেন, yes, there are huge arsenic, I mean the saline in the table water in coastal belt, especially Satkira, and it is above the permissible limit. So এটা যে লিমিট আমাদের আছে বাংলাদেশের অনুযায়ী তার চেয়ে অনেক বেশি স্যালাইন ওখানে পাচ্ছে। Therefore, they're also going for rainwater harvesting, and there are some area where tubewell is not possible. We are going for the alternative solution like pumps and filter or rainwater harvesting. So saline is very high. And second question regarding the coordination, yes, we need a strong coordination among the DPHE and local government institutions. Not only that, we also need a strong coordination with other stakeholders working there. এটা খুবই দরকার। এবং I thought that the awareness raising activities, yes, it is at this moment government not have many projects on awareness raising activities. Mostly the NGOs are providing this kind of services, and government is providing the physical facilities like any technology, tubewell, rainwater harvesting, river osmosis plant, IRA, or plants and field tap, wherever it is possible. But NGO is doing the awareness activities, and we need a nice coordination between GEO and NGO so that we can complement each other. So thank you for question. And I think, Somayapa, do you have any questions? I saw your hands. Now I don't see you the hands. Would you like to ask questions?
No, no, Bhai. I was just wanted to tell that anyone can unmute themselves and can talk in that time. So that's the reason I dropped it. Okay.
Yeah. I saw hands from Mominul.
Ji, Dada, thank you, Dada, for the nice presentation. Thank you, Hasina Appa. My question is, why are children not encouraged to participate in community-based monitoring approach? This was my question.
Okay, very nice question. Hasina, do you have any answer? Why children are not participating in the community-based monitoring?
Okay, thank you very much for raising the very nice question. But when we started this activities, community-based monitoring, that time, first of all, our target people was the women and their participation. So till now, we have no plan to raise the children, attending the children. But if next time we will implement any program, then we will incorporate in the children. It is easy to participate the children, no problem. But still now, our practicing is only for women. Thank you.
I just want to add one thing with Hasina Appa. That is, the question raised by Mominul Bhai is very much important because this is a practice level intervention. So if we will include children with this activity, then it will be very much helpful for the community as well. So we will be very much careful in future when we will design our next phase project, then definitely we will include children in our next phase project as well. Thank you very much, Mominul Bhai.
Welcome.
Next question, please ask next question to Alokda Hasina Appa.
Anyone? Because
আমার আরেকটি ছোট প্রশ্ন আছে, যেটা ওই যে মাহমুদ আপা বললেন যে স্যালাইনটি স্যালাইন ওয়াটার বা এই যে আমাদের সমুদ্রের নোনা পানি সাতক্ষীরা বা ওই বেল্টে ঢুকে যায়, তখন তাদের যে ডিপ টিউবওয়েল বা রেইন ওয়াটার হারভেস্টিং বা অন্যান্য বিষয়গুলো তো তখন কাজ করে না, তো তখন তারা বিশুদ্ধ পানিগুলো কিভাবে পাবে? এটার যদি একটু সমাধান দিতেন, ধন্যবাদ।
দিস ইজ এ ভেরি ভ্যালিড কোশ্চেন ডিউ টু দিস ক্লাইমেট, মানে আমাদের এই ক্লাইমেট চেঞ্জের কারণে স্ক্যারসিটি অফ ওয়াটার এটা হচ্ছে, এটা বরিশাল, পটুয়াখালী, বরগুনা ওই অঞ্চলে এটা আরো তীব্রতা আরো বেশি বেড়ে গেছে, যে কারণে আমরা মনে করি যে শুধু টিউবওয়েল না, টিউবওয়েলের পাশাপাশি অন্যান্য যে পানির যে টেকনোলজি আছে, বিশেষ করে রেইন ওয়াটার সেটা দেয়া, প্লাস হচ্ছে গিয়ে আপনার রিভার অসমোস আইআরআরপি, যেটা আয়রন আর্সেনিক রিমুভাল প্ল্যান্ট, অথবা যে রিভার অসমোসিস পদ্ধতিতে পানি পরিশোধন করা, সেই পদ্ধতি দেয়া। তবে যে সমস্ত আরেকটা আছে স্যালাইন অবমুক্তকরণ, ডিস্যালাইনেশনটা খুবই কস্টলি, যে কারণে কোনো একার পক্ষে সম্ভব হয় না। সেই কারণে সরকারের তরফ থেকে কমিউনিটি বেসড সাপোর্ট দেয়া হচ্ছে, বিশেষ করে রিভার অসমোসিস এবং আইআরআরপি, এই পদ্ধতিগুলো এই টেকনোলজিগুলো দেয়া হচ্ছে এই বিভিন্ন ইউনিয়ন পরিষদের মাধ্যমে, যেখানে মেম্বার অফ দ্য পার্লামেন্ট এবং ইউনিয়ন পরিষদ তারা লোকের মাধ্যমে এগুলো অ্যাটলিস্ট প্রত্যেকটা ইউনিয়ন পরিষদে প্রতি বছর 26টা করে এরকম ওয়াটার পয়েন্ট দেওয়ার কথা সরকারের তরফ থেকে। এটা যে এলাকায় যেটা প্রযোজ্য, যে টেকনোলজি, সেই টেকনোলজিটা ওনারা দেবেন, এটাই সরকারি প্রজেক্টের মাধ্যমে দিচ্ছে। এর পাশাপাশি এনজিওরাও কিছু কিছু দিচ্ছে। তবে অ্যাজ অ্যান অল্টারনেটিভ ইন ক্লাইমেট ভালনারেবল এরিয়া, I think rainwater harvesting is one of the suitable option by which we can ensure water supply around the year. At least 8 to 9 months we can get water from rainwater.
থ্যাংক ইউ।
Yeah, thank you very much for your question.
বিজয় দা একটু হ্যান্ড রেজ করেছিল মনে হয়, বলছেন।
হ্যাঁ,
Hello?
আমাকে শোনা যাচ্ছে?
Yes, you're audible to us.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Alokda, I mean, the audience is, I can't see the audience from my connection. So should I ask the question in English or Bengali?
For record,
I'm
you
not-
can ask in English, because you can introduce yourself and you can ask in English. I can
Right.
respond in Bangla and also English mixed.
Great. My name is Digbijayate. I work for IRC, International Water and Sanitation in the Netherlands. So the question I would like to ask has two prongs. The first one is for Hasina Appa, and the second one is for you, Alukda. What I would like to know from Hasina Appa is their experience on community-based monitoring. How difficult was it for them to connect the process and the results with JMP indicators? And what does she foresee how difficult it would be in future to engage DPH professionals in such community monitoring processes? That was my first prong of the question, and the second prong is for you, Alokda. So at national level, what do you think? How can we include, or at least do advocacy to include such initiatives to the national level movements? For instance, I know that the sanitation dashboard is there, which is a DPH led initiative, and planning to do the monitoring of sanitation service at least up to municipality level. How can we extend that, or at least do advocacy to extend that to union level? That was my question. Thank you.
First, Hasina, আপনার উত্তরটা দেন তাহলে how difficult it is to introduce with the DPH and also with the JMP ladders, the informations.
Thank you, Dada. Through this process, the community-based monitoring, we monitor their behavior level. Especially always they are practicing it, or sometimes or never. And we implement another thing is social map. Social map, when we develop this one, then we consider the JMP ladder and another thing also. And in this process, community-based monitoring, it is possible to incorporate the JMP ladder, and it is not difficult, but it is not easy. Not difficult, but not easy. So if we want, we will share with the DPAC easily. And I hope they will understand the report. When we develop the report, that time the local government take this report and they take initiative. And when the community people raise their demand, and as per their demand, the DPAC also provided some support. So I think if we want, it is possible, not difficult. Digvijayda.
Thank you, Hasinapa.
Yeah, thank you, Digvijay. You asked a very million-ton question. It's a very difficult question as well. You know very well that we are struggling with this national level monitoring system. You are also part of that. And but it's very pertinent to have this national level monitoring, and also the informations we collect, that has to be linked with the dashboard developed by the DPHE at the national level. So what we are thinking, the informations and data we collected, we are sharing with the local government institutions, means municipality and union portion. And if government feels that this kind of locally led adaptation monitoring process is important, they can also replicate this in their working area, in other working area, in other industries. Once the huge number of data is generated from the different corner of the country, then it's easier to also make a link with the national level dashboard. You know that we already having discussion with national level government officials, with DPHE, local government, and they in principle agreed this is a good process, but it is requires other action as well to fit into the national process. Yes, Digvijay.
Thank you, Dada. Looking forward to it.
Okay. I'm not sure whether Yamominul.
জি দাদা, একটা প্রশ্ন করতে পারবো দাদা?
বলেন।
আমার প্রশ্নটা আসলে যেটা ছিল যে প্রকল্প বন্ধ হয়ে যাওয়ার পরে কিভাবে কমিউনিটি বেসড মনিটরিং চলমান থাকবে, মানে সাস্টেনেবিলিটির উপরে যে আমার প্রশ্নটা, এটাই যে
It's a very valid question, because every program has a time limit. So our program also is going to be end. So therefore, how this CBM will sustain? Hasina, can you explain the sustainability of this CBM process? How do you think that this will continue?
Thank you very much for raising this question, Mominul Bhai. In our community-based monitoring practice level, when we conducted this community-based monitoring, that time local government people, especially councillor, female councillor, they are presented in this community-based monitoring, and they collect the community demand. And as per the community demand, they also incorporate in their local yearly budget. LGI budget, already they incorporate in their budget, and as per their budget, they will implement. I hope they will implement because they incorporate in their yearly budget. One thing. And another thing is that this is the process, and the elected people, they knows the process, and the community people knows the process. So easily they will continue. And if they want, they will continue it easily. And already you are seen the videos, also very easy videos, and the approach is very easy. So I hope it will continue. If
Thank
they
you.
will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So, any other question? If not, then what I can do, I can ask, I can make a, request you to, if possible, please open your camera because of their, it's a recording purpose. They will take a record of this session. So if possible, please switch on your camera so that our organizers and our other participants, they can take picture of this screenshot of the session.
আমাদের ক্যামেরা তো ওপেন করার অপশন পাচ্ছি না দাদা।
At the bottom you can see in the camera option.
এখানে শুধু মিউটার অপশন আছে, আর
শুধু মিউট
রেজ হ্যান্ড আছে, চার্ট আছে, কোশ্চেন অ্যানসার আছে, শো ক্যাপশন আর মিউট, আর কোনো কিছু নাই এখানে।
দেখা যায় দাদা, আমি তো দেখতে পাচ্ছি না।
আমাদের ক্যামেরা ওপেন করতেই পারছি না।
আপনাকে দেখা যায়? আপনাকে দেখা যাচ্ছে?
Hasina, I think yeah. But perhaps this is this options was disabled for the other participant. So who are taking the snapshot, please take as it is, because many participants screens are not they are not allowed to open their video. So therefore you can take the screenshot as it is.
Yes, only the panelists are allowed to turn their cameras on. So I'll just take a screenshot of the panelists.
Yeah, also the name of the participants will also be appeared in the screen, so we can get the name of the participants.
আমরা
Yeah,
কাউকে
please.
দেখতে পাচ্ছি না, শুধু নাম দেখতে পাচ্ছি।
Yeah. Okay.
Done taking the screenshots. Thank you so much.
Please. Okay. I think this is the organizers already mentioned that the camera is on for only the panelists. Therefore, it is not possible perhaps for the others to open the camera. Sorry for that. Anyway, but we kept this screenshot and your name is already there. So, and also you can write your name in the chat so that we can keep this as a documentation, and during documentation we can record your name. You can mention in the chat your name and organization. So thank you very much, and I wish that we try to explain the community-based monitoring for locally led adaptation process and locally led planning process. I hope the participants from the different organizations who have participated, they have also enough knowledge on community-based approaches, and they are really very good in implementation of the activities at the community level. And if you have any further question, you can raise it to us to our email. We'll be happy to respond your questions and afterwards. And also we'll be very happy if you can also try this kind of community-based approaches, community-based monitoring, so that we can get the real behavior. As I said, by asking question is not always reflect the actual behavior of the people. Therefore, we need some kind of community engagement, community participation, so that we can really get the actual situation of the community, actual situation of the ground, and so that it helps our planning purpose as well. As I said, our partners, they're implementing into the field, and the result they're sharing with the DPHE and also the Union Parishad. And this way, the Union Parishad, while they're going for the planning, they also consider this kind of findings to reallocate their resources in the most needy areas. So, and one of the examples set by our partners in working area, we've been working in 7 municipalities and 20 Union Parishad. There we found that the Union Parishad and municipality have developed a kind of fund. It's called climate funds, climate and disaster fund. So from that kind of funding, they are also allocating resources to the people in their area. So this way, this really helps. Number one, ensures the participation of the peoples are living behind, ensure participation of the women in the process. This also help locally led adaptation process and locally led planning. We actually got a very good result by investing a very few. We got an enormous results. I hope the participants, those who participated, can be benefited, and if they want to scale these learnings, we'll be happy to extend our support. From Simavi and from Uttaran, I would like to extend thanks to all participants, those who have participated in this session and contributed by asking question and also by listening this presentation. We are thankful to you all. And finally, I must thanks to International Center for Climate Change and Adaptation, ICAT, for organizing this such a nice events as international global events for uh, climate adaptations and locally led adaptation. I hope we can learn from each other. So Fatima Appa, back to you. After that, you can hand it over to our organizers.
Thank you very much, Alokda, for giving me the opportunity to say something. So thank you very much for the organizer. Thank you very much, Alokda, Hasina Appa, for your excellent presentation. And we are very happy. Together with Simavi, we are implementing climate change adaptation and WASH related projects for a long time in the field level. Today, we got an opportunity to share our experience globally as well as nationally. That's why we are sending our heartfelt thanks to organizer. And we are ready to provide support to participants as well as other organizations if they want to scale up this innovation. So from Uttaran side, I'm giving our commitment that we are ready to provide support to you. So all together, we will work together and we want to get a good result for our country. So from my side, thank you to all. Thank you.
Yes, over to organizers. You can take the session now and conclude the session. Who is from the organization? Fatin Appa?
I think all of that from our side, it's already set it up. So there is no issue from our side to close the session. So I think you can just wrap it up. You already did that. So thank you so much to all of the participants as well as Simavi and Uttaran for taking great initiatives and sharing it with all of us. Thank you.
So thanks everybody for joining this session. So hopefully we can share each other.
অলোক দাদা, আমার একটু লাস্ট একটু কোশ্চেন ছিল, 1 সেকেন্ড একটু বলবো যে
বলো।
আমাদের যে সীমা ভাই, আপনি যেটা কোঅর্ডিনেটর আছেন, তো এটা আগে থেকেই কাজ করে, এখন তো ওয়াশের উপরে আবার কাজ করতেছে। এটা কি ক্লাইমেট চেঞ্জ বা ডিজাস্টার ম্যানেজমেন্ট এর উপরে কোনো নতুন করে কোনো কাজ টাজ করবে কিনা, বা আমাদের জন্য কোনো প্রজেক্ট টজেক্ট থাকবে কিনা, এ ব্যাপারে কোনো এসুরেন্স দেওয়া যায়? থ্যাংক ইউ।
ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ। ইটস এ ডিফারেন্ট কোশ্চেন, বাট আমরা যেটা বলছি যে আমরা, হ্যাঁ, ক্লাইমেট অ্যাডাপ্টেশন, ক্লাইমেট জাস্টিস অ্যান্ড ক্লাইমেট অ্যান্ড ওয়াটার জাস্টিস, এগুলো সীমাবির ফোকাসড এরিয়া। আমরা বিভিন্ন পার্টনারদের সাথে এটা নিয়ে কাজ করি বিভিন্ন দেশে। এই মুহূর্তে একটা প্রজেক্ট, ছোট্ট একটা পাইলট প্রজেক্ট চলছে আমাদের উত্তরণের সাথে, যেটা ওয়াটার জাস্টিস ফান্ড। বেসিক্যালি উই আর লোকালি লেড অ্যাডাপ্টেশন অ্যান্ড ক্লাইমেট ইস্যুস নিয়ে কাজ করছে ওনারা, অ্যাওয়ারনেস রেজিং এ, বাট ছোট্ট পাইলট প্রজেক্ট। তো আমরা ফিউচারে যদি কোনো বড় ফান্ডিং এই প্রজেক্টে পাই, তাহলে হয়তো আমাদের এক্সপেনশন যেতে পারি, বাট ডিপেন্ডস অন ফিউচার ফান্ডিং। এরা সকলেই জানেন যে ফান্ড সিচুয়েশন ইজ নট কন্ডিউসিভ ফর বাংলাদেশ। হাউএভার উই আর ট্রাইং হার্ড। আমাদের সীমাবি, যেহেতু আমরা সরাসরি ইমপ্লিমেন্ট করি না, আমরা যে দেশেই কাজ করি সেই দেশেই পার্টনার এনজিওদের মাধ্যমেই ইমপ্লিমেন্ট করে থাকি। তো সুতরাং যদি কোনো প্রজেক্ট আমাদের কাছে নতুন করে আসে, তাহলে বাংলাদেশে যদি হয়, তাহলে বাংলাদেশের কোনো না কোনো পার্টনার এনজিওদের মাধ্যমেই সেটা কাজ হবে।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
Thank you very much. So now thanks to you all, also thanks to ICAT for their nice cooperations and giving us some space for sharing our ideas. I hope this will at least add some value in the process. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining the session. I would like to thanks on behalf of Uttaran and Simavi. I would like to thank you all. Also thanks to Fatima for nice chair the session and moderation, and also thank you very much. Bye bye.
আপনাকেও ধন্যবাদ বরিশালের
Bye bye.
পক্ষ থেকে।
আপনাকেও
Thanks
ধন্যবাদ
to
দাদা।
Dada.
Bye
Thanks
bye.
to all of you.
হাসিনা
And
আপা
thanks to the
ধন্যবাদ।
organizer.
Thank you. Thank you.
হাসিনা আপা সাতক্ষীরায় আছেন, বরিশাল আসছেন।
Thank you. Bye. দেখা হবে বরিশালে গেলে।
হ্যাঁ
ভালো
হ্যাঁ,
থাকেন।
মিষ্টি পানি খাওয়াবো, মিষ্টি পানি।
Okay, ইনশাল্লাহ।